If you became aware of unethical or illegal activities at a Berkshire Hathaway-owned company, would you directly and personally intervene?
Sure. We have to jump in. We have a hotline, which I think was a very good invention of, it wasn't an invention, but a good policy embodied in Sarbanes-Oxley. And, that's been a plus to us. I get letters directly sometimes. So I want to hear about problems. I hope somebody else has heard about them first and already gotten them solved. But if they don't get solved someplace else, I want to hear about them. And we have an internal audit function, which is important at Berkshire. And anything that comes in, when somebody calls in on the complaint line and says the guy who works next to me has bad breath, I tend to skip over those. But if anything comes in that relates to alleged bad behavior, it's going to get investigated at Berkshire, and it does. And every now and then, there have been some important transgressions that have come to us via either letters to me or calls on the hotline or maybe letters to the audit committee, whatever. We encourage that. Charlie?
Yeah, we care more about that than business more.
We have a letter that goes out every roughly 2 years. It's the only communication. I probably ought to put a copy of it in the annual report sometime so that the shareholders see it. But it's a page and a half long. It asks the manager to tell me if something happened to them that night, who I should consider putting in charge of the place the next day. Doesn't mean I'll follow their advice, but I want to know their reasons and the pluses and minuses. But it starts off basically, and it says, look, we've got all the money we need. We'd like to make more money. We love making money, but we don't have a shred more reputation than we need. And we won't trade reputation for money, and we want that message to get out. It's the reason we stick that Solomon thing in the movie every year. I mean, probably some of you can recite it by now, but I don't think it can hurt to keep repeating that story. And the one thing we tell them that message, and then I've added a new line in this, and I say, if the reason you're doing something, the best reason you can come up with is that the other guy is doing it, it's not good enough. There's got to be some other reason besides the other fellow's doing it, or you're in trouble. And I tell them, call me if anything's questionable. If you think it's close to the line, give me a call. By saying that, nobody gives me a call because they know that the very fact that they think it's that close to the line probably tells them it's over the line. But I want to hear about stuff. We can cure any problem if we hear about it soon enough and take action soon enough. But if it's allowed to fester out someplace and people cover it up, and sometimes they have, then we got a problem. And we will have more of that in the future. There's no getting around it. If you have 260,000 people, there's going to be some things going on. I just hope we hear about them fast. And I hope their managers hear about them even faster and do something before it even gets to us. But we want very much to protect the reputation of Berkshire. It's the right thing to do. Charlie?
Well, it is absolutely essential. And Berkshire averaged out has a very good reputation, as you can tell by the ratings from major media and surveys. And that is absolutely precious to us. In a sense, you people are part of the culture too. The ideal is not to just make all the money that can legally be made without causing too much legal trouble. The idea is bigger than that. It's that we celebrate wealth only when it's been fairly won and wisely used. And if that idea pervades the culture of the place, including the shareholders, we think that's very helpful to us.